Well. I'm going to tell you a little story today about something happened to me today that was pretty fantastic. I walked into the middle of somebody's listing presentation, not mine, for a prospect that I was prospecting, and I walked right in the house to the middle of a listing presentation without even knocking. Let me explain. All right, so I called this lead. She's hesitant. She said she'll get back to me. She says she's going to have an agent over at 11 o'clock. And so she'd get back to me after that, but she was interested in my information, but didn't want me to come over right there and then. She might be doing things in regards to getting the property ready. And so she sounded interested, but not interested enough, and that just kind of blew me off. So I had a listing in the area, that same price point, same size, just over $1 million, and told her that, hey, I'm already beginning to market to bring buyers to this area for a property similar to yours. Why don't we at least have the conversation? And so after the final blow off, I figured, you know what? I'm gonna drive by. What do you think? Would you do that? Would you have the guts to go up and just drive by without any notice? So that's what I did regardless. I drive by, I show up, the agent who had the listing next door is still there. Now granted, this is almost an hour and a half past the appointment time that she had mentioned, but it's not uncommon for agents to go quite long if they don't have a real listing presentation, or if they just have the gift of gab and don't really have a strategic conversation in regards to a professional presentation. So regardless of whether that happened or not, the agent was still there. And so I pull up and I'm just off, not in front of the house, but just off enough where I'm not right in front of the house, and somehow somebody in the house sees me. I could see them bobbing and weaving, even moving their hand. And so when I got in there, the door was wide open. And so even though the door was wide open, a male, who I'm figuring is the seller's husband, comes outside, puts his hands on his hip like Superman, looks straight at my car, and that's my cue. So I decide that, you know what? I'm going inside. I'm gonna get out here and at least introduce myself and show them that, hey, I'll do whatever it takes, and I just want to give them my marketing material. So that's what I do. I show up and I get out of my car. I start walking towards the man. He turns tail and walks right back into the house like he's scared. Kind of was, it seemed like. I walk up to the property, and the woman, who's obviously the other listing agent, walks up and pretends like she's walking like a passer, like she's gonna walk up to the stairs, but she's not. She's pretending and wants to see what I'm doing. I say hello. She says hello. I walk right past her through the door towards the kitchen counter, where there's another woman who's obviously another agent talking to the seller, and it looks I'm not quite sure it's the seller, but I think it's the seller. And so I say, "Hi, Mrs. Seller," and she says hello, smiles. I hand her my marketing package and say, "Hey, great talking to you earlier today. I'm just passing through, so I don't have time to talk, but I wanted to put this detailed marketing plan in your hands. So I appreciate your conversation and I appreciate your time. I'll talk to you soon." Smile, turn around, walk past the other listing agent whose jaw is on the floor, and walk out. Hey, would you do that? Would you walk into a home unannounced? Now, by the way, the property was vacant, or else I would not have walked in that property. The property was vacant. I knew that. I knew that this was going to be a listing presentation. I knew who the people were, and yet I knew also that I didn't have time to sit around and wait, because I had another $1 million appointment right after that across town, so I needed to skedaddle. And so I took a shot on going to meet her out there, and I didn't want to drive away without leaving the marketing material and not leaving it on the patio like a punk. That would be just a weak move to go ahead and just leave the information on the on the patio. So I walked up, and for me it was about showing them I'll do whatever it takes, and I was polite, and she was smiling, and so I handed her the material, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if she if she took that as something that as a sign for somebody who she should be talking to, because they're aggressive and because they do work in that price point and that in that area, and that she's motivated enough to talk to another agent. Stay tuned. I'll let you know.